Today's episode is the second part of the route between Rait and Kilspindie. Looking at the map, once again, you've got Perth down at the western side, you've got Dundee up here on the right, on the eastern side, and just slightly up here is that you've got Forfar at the end. So you can see the route once again that we saw in episode 4. So let's zoom in, let's have a look at it, and let's see what it is that we're going to be doing. So in episode 4 we started off at Rait, we climbed up the hill, black sheep were down here. We came up, we saw some beautiful rolling hills up on the side here. We came along the plateau along the top here, we turned left and we're heading to Kilspindie, and we got to somewhere about here. So in today's video we're going to climb to just over 800 feet, almost 900 feet at the summit. It's around about here somewhere. And then we're going to start to come down, and as we come down we'll get fantastic views over the River Tay. We come down to the first tight bend, and I'll highlight a couple of enormous bullocks that's standing in the field. There's a couple here, and I think there's one about here somewhere. I'll let you have a look at them. I'll show you them. You come down, this corner here is a horrendously dangerous corner in my opinion. As you come down and you hit the corner, it's a completely blind, it's starting to go down. It is a single lane, and it really is a single lane. There's nowhere to go, and it's on quite a steep edge, so you've got to be very careful about coming here. Once you get around the corner, you come down a real tight switchback, but you can see down this road because it drops down quite quickly, so you can see if there's any traffic coming up at this point. But down here it's a bit tricky, you need to watch. We come down the first switchback, we come down the hill, which is all jolly good, and then we come into Kilspindie, and as we come into Kilspindie we get the final, we come down to the junction on the bottom road that we started way back up here. Now this is a double blind bend, so the left hand side you can't really see what's coming along, the right hand, well the left hand side here, it's left hand side if you're coming down, if you see what I mean. But anyway, down here is a blind corner. This is a bit of a blind corner, and this has got a horrible little camber on the end of it, so you've got to be very careful. We'll jump back onto the bottom road and we shall ride back to where we started. Okay, let's have a look at the video. I hope you enjoy. Hello and welcome to episode 5. We pick up exactly where we left off on episode 4, and we're climbing towards the summit, which is just over 800 feet. I'm still on the Royal Enfield Classic 350. The weather was fantastic today, the roads are quiet, and I was having great fun. And there we go, that's the summit. From here on down we're heading back towards something like 68-70 feet above sea level. Once again the hills are putting a huge smile on my face. I just love this road, the whole loop. It's 17 and a bit minutes to complete, about 8 miles in total. So the first of the bulls is on the left hand side. Now it is a lazy old lump. Every time, and I mean every time I go past this one, he always seems to be sitting on his doubt. Can't be in the mood, eh? So here we come. We're now coming up to a derelict castle. It must have been an absolutely fabulous place to be when it was inhabited. The views it's got over the valley in the River Tay is tremendous, absolutely tremendous, but it's well done for now. Evelyn Castle, there we go. I'm afraid it's beyond repair, I suspect. However, nice little landmark. couple of horses on the left hand side coming up. Not fussed at all about the bike. There we go, just going about their business. And they seem to do that every time. And here we are, here's a terrific view down and for miles. Now Dundee's probably about 18 miles from here, and the view that you're getting is just stunning. It's breathtaking. Every time you come over this part of the road, I just look at it and know it is, yeah. Now, there's a little nasty corner down here, full of all kinds of junk. It must pool the water or something like that. I can only imagine what it's like just now, because we've had like monsoon weather. It's been horrendous lately. It's just up there ahead of us. But all kinds of muck fill the corner, and if you're not aware of it, you could undoubtedly get yourself in a bit of trouble. There we go, look what's waiting for you. Once again, the eyes are in overload with the scenery. Even better on a sunny day, of course. Now we're coming up to the first of the tight bends. It's compounded by the fact that there's a lot of loose gravel at the other end of it, and of course the GoPro doesn't show you how steep it is. But there you go, nice and easy, round we go. And once again we're heading down. It's amazing when you turn around and come the other way, the difference in the views. It's like a different ride. Now, just on the right hand side, you'll see the next pair of bullocks. And they're big devils, I'll tell you. They dwarf, and they just look like sheer muscle. There we go. Look at the size of these devils. Anyway, we say bye bye to them and off we go. Now we're coming up to this tricky little corner. You can see that the ground falls away. Right at this time you've no idea if anything's coming around. It's a completely single track, and straight ahead it drops down pretty quickly, so you got to be really careful. Once you get to this part, I can see the road down at the bottom, so I know that there's nothing coming. It's quite because it's single track, quite a tight turn, so you just take it nice and easy. And around we go. I think it was last year I stopped here. There was a guy who was doing some kind of survey work, and the lights were out. One of his lights was out in the back of his car, because it went down and come back up again. And I stopped to say to him, like, your light's out. And as I lifted my visor, I was attacked by hundreds of flies that were all over the place. It was the height of summer, of course. Now, yeah, you get a good example of why that's a single track road, just by where the grit is on the road. We're coming into Kilspindie. This is the penultimate episode in the Sidlaw files. The last one will come up next week, which will be the last Friday of 2022. And I actually narrate it as I ride the bike around the circuit, so it's a slightly different experience. Now we're dropping down to the level where we started in episode 4, and we're coming to this lovely little junction. Here we go. And once again, the GoPro, well, it's not GoPro, it's DJI, of course, flattens it all out, but you can't see anything to the right. You've got to take your time. You can't see nothing to the left. It's camber here, and of course at the bottom of the hill you always get the rubbish from the weather. And there we go. So I've cut the last a little bit, snipped it off because it's quite straight all the way along the bottom. As we head along to the end of the ride, just want to wish everyone a happy and Merry Christmas. Many thanks to everyone that's watched the series so far, and the last in the series of the Sidlaw Files will be next Friday. Thanks for watching. Cheerio!